This Bellator 171 interview was recorded on January 18th, 2017 for a fight taking place January 27th in Mulvane, Kansas. Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
Hey Jay, I have Steve for you.
Hey AJ, it's a pleasure to talk to you today. How are you doing?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good, although I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off today because they got me covering these Bellator 170 fights, and I'm interviewing you about your Bellator 171 fight, so it's a little crazy for me.
Yeah. We all gotta do what we gotta do, you know?
Absolutely, and what you gotta do is beat up your opponent in Mulvane. You're taking on Brandon Phillips. What are your thoughts on your next fight?
It's gonna be a fun fight, you know? I'm looking forward to getting back in there and getting back to doing what I do best, and that's getting these first round knockouts and finishes.
You've got a spectacular record of finishing opponents and seems to be going really well for you, but last time you were supposed to fight Emanuel Sanchez, and that would have been your biggest test to date. Now he's fighting on a different card, so what are your thoughts on that? Do you still want that fight with him?
Yeah, it'll happen sooner or later, you know? These guys, understand why they pulled out. I wouldn't want to fight myself either, you know? 6-0, up and comer. 12-2, whatever these guys' records are, you know, it doesn't make sense for them to fight me, you know. They don't benefit anything from beating me, and they got everything to lose. So, yeah, it makes sense, but they can run, they just can't hide. On that contract, you're gonna have to fight sooner or later.
Well, nobody's going to be able to avoid you if you keep running through everybody, because sooner or later that's going to put you in contention for a title.
Exactly, so neither I'm gonna fight him or step around him. Yeah, these guys they're some weenies, man. I don't know. They're scary.
Well, so are you when you get those first round finishes. What do you think leads to the fact that you're just going out there and handling people so easily?
I don't know. I'd say it's just that fighting warrior in me, you know, that making a statement, you know. Kind of started losing motivation the last fight, so didn't really have it there. But you know, I'm back on the grind. You know, life. You know, you go through things, and just gotta always keep your head up and continue fighting and pushing forward.
Would you say also that you're a little bit of a chip off the old block when it comes to your father and his legendary fighting career?
Kind of. You know, our styles are similar. You know, great to see I can fight 35s. You know. Now I see why my dad used to just take everybody down and ground and pound them. It's an easy fight, you know, easy fight, easy payday. It's no toll on your body, you know. You just sit there and beat the guy up, and it's pretty easy, you know. After 3-5, I got up, and like I told my dad, I was like, hey, if I can fight 2 more 5s like that. He was like, yeah, it's easy, right? I was like, yeah. So it was just good to know I can take somebody down and ground and pound and relax while beating them up.
But at the same time, you know that you've got a fight-pleasing style when you finish fights, and that gets you bigger paydays, and that's what fans want to see.
Yeah, it's all about the entertainment just as much as it is about the fighting, you know. So you just gotta set supply and demand. You give the people what they want, people give Bellator what they want, and Bellator make me happy, you know. They'll give me what I want.
Speaking of being an entertainer, I noticed that from very early on when they started showcasing your fights on the prelims and on TV was that you had a very entertaining post-fight interview style. Where did that come from? How did you develop that swagger that you have?
I'm just very different, man. I'm very different, you know. It's like I'm very unique, you know. I'm a very different type of person. Like, if I go out with all my friends, you know, we'll go hang out, go kick it at the hookah bar or something, or just get out and about, you know, like, I'll be the guy that'll buy everybody in the club a rose, just cause, you know, so, like, who is that, you know, like, he's bought everybody a rose, like, and then everybody try to come hanging out with us, and I'm like, alright, time to get out of here, like, before I did that, nobody cared, all of a sudden, everybody gets a rose, everybody wants to hang out with us, like, time to go.
So that's just the AJ McKee way. You step in the scene, you make a scene, and then you depart and let people wonder.
Exactly, just kind of like Marshawn Lynch, you know. You know what I'm here to do, you know. You know what I'm here for. Thank you.
Well, speaking of what you're here to do, let's get back to Brandon Phillips. Style-wise, how do you think he presents to you as an opponent? What are his strengths?
Well, But no, he's good on the inside. He's a smaller opponent, so he's gotta close that distance and try to get to me. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm gonna try to take him down and wrestle, but it's gonna be in for a pretty rude awakening when I start kicking him in his face and punching him.
How significant is it for you to be taking these fights so quickly? Because like you said, it seems like you're rolling injury free and playing it smart in these fights and not getting banged up. But at the same time, it is pretty quick to be coming back from December and fighting again in January.
Yeah, I actually hadn't. This is my first injury in my last fight. I kind of messed my hand up, but you know, it's fighting, man. If I gotta fight, you know, it's fun. You know, if I feel I'm ready, I'm gonna go in there and do what I gotta do. And I don't know, I feel I'm ready, you know. So it's time to get back in there and do what I do best. I feel like fighting every 2 months is a good pace. You know, it gives you a month to build up for the fight, and then you got the fight, and then another month for the hype of the fight to calm down, and then by that time, you know, build up for the next fight is happening, and then boom, your name's ringing again. You know, if you're fighting every 3 months, hype dies out, and then your name kind of goes away, and then it pops up back on the scene. So I'm just looking forward to really keeping my name raging and blaring now.
But you've also got to look forward to getting to that point where you can be a guy like George St. Pierre, where if you only have one fight a year, everybody's buying that one fight just because they want to see you that much.
Exactly. You got to get your name out there first and have the viewings first. You know, fighting every 2 months. You know, once those ratings start to come in, then you can do something like that. You know, you have leverage. You know, you have something to work with. So it's just fighting, man. You know, I enjoy fighting regardless. So I'm gonna just continue to do what I do best, and let's put on the show.
Now, you did mention that you might have gotten a little bit banged up in the last fight, and I noticed in the post-fight interview you were talking about you thought you might have broken your thumb, but did the x-rays come back and nothing was fractured, nothing was wrong? It seems like you obviously are good to go if you're cleared for this fight.
Yeah, nothing was broke, nothing was torn. I stretched out a couple little ligaments, but you know, I've been rehabbing it every day. Got my grip back in my left hand, so I'm good. I'm ready to go. You know, I'd say I'm about 70% healed all the way back up, but my 70% is a pretty high 70. You know,
your 70 is like 140 for everybody else, right?
Exactly. You know.
Very good. Now, I know you're getting ready for Mulvane and all the focus is there, but with so much hype going on in California right now, what do you think about this Ortiz versus Sonnen card?
I don't know, it's a good fight, you know. I feel this should have been the fight for me to be on, you know. This is my home turf, my backyard, and Emanuel Sanchez weenie ass is fighting in my backyard because he's a little scared. I know it's up, but it's all good. He can run, he can't hide, you know. He's gotta go fight Georgie, so for sure Georgie's gonna go out there and put some things on him and put him back in his contender spot, and then I can continue to keep knocking people out and climb up to him and do the same. If not, then I'll just step around him, you know.
See, no, I was thinking the same thing about him not taking the fight with you. It's like, is he really getting an easier fight with Georgie? Hell no, they call him insane for a reason.
Yeah, but he, you know, it just makes sense. If he loses to Georgie, then it's like, okay, well, we kind of expected that, you know. If he loses to me, it's like, well, man, he's only 6-0. You were supposed to beat a guy 6-0. But in reality, you know, he knows what the deal is. He's talking about who have I fought. He's going to send me back down. Well, you signed that contract, homie. You're the one that pulled out and then signed a new contract a week later. So, you're a weenie to me.
That seems to be your word of the day for Emanuel Sanchez, but it seems like you got a little more respect for Brandon Phillips. I haven't heard you call him a weenie once.
Yeah, he signed the contract and he's not pulling out, you know, so all respect to him, man. That's that fighter, that's that warrior, you know. If you're hurt, how do you sign a new contract a week later? Because that just doesn't make sense. If you're hurt, you're hurt. Take some time off. You don't sign a new contract to fight a month later.
No, that's true, and that's why you're here right now, because if you didn't feel you were able to take the fight, you wouldn't have signed the contract, so same logic goes both ways.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Well, before I wrap it up today, AJ, I want to say that very early on when I started doing an MMA podcast, your dad was one of the first people to give me an interview, so I want to say thank you to the whole McKee family. I really appreciate you guys, and I want to see you do really well in this fight here in Mulvane, so I'll give you this time to plug the body shop and anything else you'd like.
Yeah. First off, thanks for having me, man. I said thanks for having me. Thanks to all the fight fans, for the support. At the end of the day, it's all for them, They're the ones that make or break your career. They're the ones that we do it for. I want to thank my dad, of course, for pushing me to my limits and always motivating me when I'm down and out. Yeah, man, all glory to the man upstairs. It wouldn't be possible without him. Thanks to my sponsors, Lane Egg Whites, makes my weight cut pretty easy. TC1 gel literally burns fat right off me. Who else? Dr. Dossman keeps me nice and healthy. So, yeah. Thanks to everybody, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the support.
You bet. And I'll throw in one more for you. Everybody should follow AJ McKee Jr. on Twitter. Do you have Instagram or Snapchat or any of that stuff as well people should check?
Yeah, on my Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope is AJ McKee 101.
All right, everybody follow AJ on social media, but most importantly, follow him in the cage at Bellator 171 as he takes on Brandon Phillips. AJ, thank you again.
Thank you.
You bet. And thank you, Nicole.
Thanks, Steve.